The following is a live production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Fire up the grills and turn up the volume. Welcome to Warchant GameDay, presented by Zaxby's of Tallahassee.
He is off, one man to beat, cuts it back. He landed on somebody. They're going to say touchdown.
Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron and Tom Lang bring you the latest news, updates, and analysis around the FSU program ahead of today's kickoff on Bobby Bowden Field.
I know what this game means. And if you don't get up for this one, then go somewhere else. Go do something else, because it is not for you. This is why you play.
Tallahassee Game Day is brought to you by Zaxby's, the official chicken of sports fans. Your Tallahassee Zaxby's, a proud Golden Chief booster for 17 years. Go Noles! Now live and worldwide on Warchant TV, here is Warchant Game Day.
And away we go. Welcome in atop Hotel Indigo as we are on the roof. It's early. I've had a mimosa.
Have you?
I have.
Oh, man.
I've had a mimosa. Here we go. Let's get this thing going.
Good for you.
Welcome in. It is time. That is a mighty, he can hear us, right? Yeah. I promise you, this place is usually packed, but noon games are tough on folks. Everybody's kind of little hair of the dog getting started here.
You can see it, yeah.
Yeah, you can see
It'll be pretty rowdy here.
It's a beleaguered bunch. This
bunch will be a little rowdier in about a half an hour once that first one kicks in, you know?
Nice lightning sweater, my man. There we go. All right. We're doing some things. Welcome in. It is time for the pregame show. And Tom and myself are here at Hotel Indigo on the roof. It is beautiful. It's actually a great morning. A little overcast, hazy. If you guys are out of town watching the show, wondering what the vibe is like, it's subdued for now. Yep. That'll happen when you've had a week off and you've lost 3 straight games and it's Georgia Tech that's coming to town. But there is business to take care of today, and Florida State hopefully does so. I think this is an important moment. I know it's strange, but I think for Florida State to embark on what I think is a stretch of 5 games that are going to tell us a lot about the program, the coaching staff, the players, and where it's headed. And so I don't think you can overlook today, Tom, and I don't want to infuse a seriousness to this that isn't required, but I do think this is a beginning of a stretch that is really, really important.
It is. And this is a game where it's a test of maturity. They passed one earlier in the season when they hosted Boston College. It was a night kickoff.
Overwhelmed them.
There was a larger game, higher stakes game the next week, and you wondered, were they thinking ahead? And they weren't. They came out. They took care of business. Within a quarter and a half, it almost felt like the old days. And Florida State controlled the game. And beyond that, the rest was history against Boston College. Can they do that again today? I think they can. It's in their mental makeup to do something along those lines. But this is a huge stretch where the games that, when we're talking big picture as Florida State fans, we're talking about the road game at Miami, 7:30 kick next week. We're talking about Syracuse. Make sure if you're this team, you don't think like that. Think about today, handle business. Georgia Tech's defense is okay. Make sure you earn it and impose your will physically, because that's what we saw last time the Noles took the field. The ground game against Clemson, it was very impressive.
Well, when they had a chance to overwhelm a bad team, if you think about the great Florida State teams and the eras, the great decades of Florida State football, if you will, which, you go back to 1980 to now. And there's a lot of great decades in there. We're very fortunate as Florida State fans to be able to say that. But one of the things that occurred was that bad teams came to town. They got their ass beat.
Yeah.
That's how it worked. And that was just understood, right? Like, this was about, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to handle this? What guys are going to play?
Yeah, the best part of their day, the opponent, was when Osceola and Renegade ran out to the 50 and planted the spear. They're like, wow, that's cool. Yeah. All right, now we've got no chance.
Yeah, and so it was what good teams did, what good Florida State teams did. And this is a great opportunity for them. You've got I think, beleaguered bunch. I talked about the crowd here being a little beleaguered. We're all hurting a little bit after a Friday night and a noon kickoff. It'll happen. But except for this guy, he would have bet at 9. But he's a professional, guys. But what I would tell you is that that's what I expect to see today. I expect Florida State to win this game going away. I think Florida State's going to come out and play really, really well. And I don't say that to say it, because it's a thing that would get everybody charged up. But the truth is, I think Florida State's in a good position here. Coming off the bye, they're healthier than they've been, and they've got to want it. They've got to want to go on this run, which could be an all-time difference maker, because you could shift the program's future. So it makes me nervous and excited. And, I'm not playing a game today. I'm not coaching a game today. It doesn't matter what I feel, but I think that's the sense of this fan base. Is that where we're at? Let's go. Let's effing go. It's time to go take care of business.
Yeah, that's the issue with it today. And I know it's a little irrational because Georgia Tech may be starting its backup quarterback plus a freshman and rotating those two in. That's what their head coach said, or their interim head coach said on Tuesday, that Jeff Sims is likely not available. We'll see. So if that's the case, I feel a hell of a lot better about this game. But I'm hurt, man. I'm scarred by Tech. I know we beat him in 14 for the ACC championship. That game was just like everyone that season, though. It was way too close.
Yeah.
And I remember 08, punted one time. There was a weather delay for an hour and a half, and we lost that football game. Punted one time and lost. Or 08 was actually the road fumble inside the 5. 09 was the one punter. And then Mike Norvell's first game as head coach. You were there in the 50-yard line just behind the bench.
Yeah.
They got off to a good start. James Blackman leads a touchdown drive, and everybody said,
we all felt good. We all felt good.
Oh, my goodness. Weather delay. They come back out, and they lay an egg. So Georgia Tech has been around for these 2015. Their only ACC win. So go earn this today. Don't let any of those butterflies linger into the second quarter or halftime or the third quarter. Let's put this to bed early. Show that you have the maturity. Mike Norvell said against Boston College, I want to see you dominate a football game. That's the challenge. That should be the challenge again today.
Yeah, and they can. They can. I think they're capable. I'm not going to fret over a slow start, fast start, whatever it might be. I just want to see them execute. I want to see a smart game plan. I want to see those guys do what they're capable of, at least in terms of intention, right? Like, let's look at what we're doing. The result will come if you do it the right way. It may take longer. Who knows?
Sure.
But I do want to see that. Weird camera angle today, guys.
Florida man in Texas loves it.
He loves it, apparently. He loves to see the underneath of our chins. But we had a technical problem, and we solved said problem with this situation. But hey, we're good. We're good. You know, for the first time in Tom Lang's life, he brought his equipment into the house last night. That's how sleepy he was, everybody.
I guess so. Yeah. And it was sleepiness. I got out of CP in decent shape. That's not always the easiest thing to do.
It's not easy to do. It is not easy to do. I had to run for the hills at 7:30 p.m. or something.
So did you see the morning headline with the uniforms? Have you seen the uniforms?
I have not seen.
Whoa. Okay. This is fun.
So everybody's talking about the uniform. So I'm going to be
all right. Live reaction to the uniforms.
I have not seen them. I was busy this morning. My parents, my dad is in town. My stepmom's in town. My niece is in town. We had a lot of people in town. I just didn't have a chance to look at the internet.
All right, here we go. Everybody ready? I'm about to show them the uniforms. Ben, if you can find it online, there.
Look at there.
What do you think?
Dude, I love that we're incorporating this now. This is a thing, right? I really. Do you like them? I like them. I think that's sharp.
Yeah, there we go. Here's some low grade production value there, but yes, look at that,
guys.
Look
at that.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh, I'm conflicted.
I am conflicted. I did the meme of the girl who goes like, no. Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah. I love it.
If you're going to wear and thank you, Ben, for putting that up. If you're going to wear, and you can pull down the graphic too so people can see it.
Yeah.
The white helmets with the garnet jersey and the garnet pants. I feel like if you're going to go garnet on garnet, the gold helmet is mandatory. Now, they did make a good play here.
That looks good, dude. That looks good.
They did make a good play here
with
the garnet face mask.
Have you guys seen? You're looking it up right now? Look at it. What do you guys think? I'm doing a poll here at
straw poll.
Yeah.
White helmets, garnet face mask. White helmets, garnet face mask. Garnet jersey, garnet pants.
Take a look at it. Pull it up. I want you to look at it. It's tight.
The reaction was first. He's like, okay.
He's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Everybody's. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
I like Kevin's response. If we win and cover the spread, I'll love the uniforms. That's a good answer. That's the right answer.
I like it, man. Get loose. Have a little fun with this thing. It's gonna be good. And I've always wanted the garnet spear.
Yeah.
I've talked about that. I've wanted the garnet spear for a long time. I think that's a good look.
I don't know about mixing it with the garnet.
So we have garnet pants?
Yeah. Garnet on garnet with the white helmet.
I think I would have gone with the white pants.
I think that's garnet pants. Pretty sure.
I think I would have gone with the white pants. Yeah. I would have gone white pants, garnet top, white helmet. Oh.
I don't know.
What are we doing here? What are we doing out here?
That is the question.
Loosey-goosey out here.
What are we doing here? I think that's the right question. What are we doing here?
No. I think it's going to look good.
But here's the thing. They got the garnet face mask on the white helmet now. You could use that for the all-white look. With the garnet face mask, that might work okay.
It would work, yeah. That's like maybe the only time that works.
Yeah, I was fine with it, the Louisville game where they had the white face mask.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're better than we used to be at this with, remember we wore gold helmets, gold pants with the black uniforms. And that was called a
Hideous.
blackout. It was ridiculous. So we're getting better at this.
Do you remember when
But
they
I'm not
somehow screwed with the gold to the point that you couldn't see the numbers?
Yeah.
That was Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, yeah.
And
the helmet was white gold too.
And it was awful.
You get your class ring in gold or white gold.
Yeah.
The white gold was our helmet.
I feel like class rings are the stupidest thing ever. But
I broke my mom's heart when I kind of shared that sentiment. She's like, "What?" For Florida State, I was like, "No, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm not wearing the class ring."
You want to get me like a nice alumni, I don't know, hoodie? Yeah, there we go.
Tag.
Yeah. Brag with the tag.
Yeah. Oh, hey, so listen, at the exhibition game the other night, which, by the way, F the NCAA, I'm going to say it over and over and over again.
Yep.
I cannot fathom how that happened. I don't believe in it. I would not follow it. I would tell them to go straight to hell. I'm not even kidding about this.
Free Baba.
Well, listen, do not let him sit for 16 games. I wouldn't. There's nothing they can do. I mean, honestly, guys, we've seen this. There's nothing they can do.
It's their tournament in March, so they could withhold your access to the tournament.
Bullshit. Let me tell you something. I'm sorry, guys. Kansas just won the national title and cheated their way there. We all know it. It's been proven. The FBI did an investigation, for Christ's sake. It wasn't about a flight.
I understand that. They pick who they like. They pick who they don't. Because North Carolina offered fraudulent classes to the entire student body.
For 20 years.
They get off scot-free.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. I play him. Ham, play him. Anyhow, back to the point here. I guess we were talking. I love this. There is nothing that elicits frustration more than like messing with the uniform. It's funny about that with people, but I love it. I think it's fun. Back to Florida State here today. The line told us early that this was going to be a day that Florida State should carry. The line told us that their quarterback wasn't starting.
Yeah, that he was very unlikely to.
I don't think we know anything more than that right now. There hasn't been an update that he's playing. No. But given Florida State's luck, well, he will absolutely play, and he'll play the best game of his life.
Just consider the sequencing of the comments, though. You've got a coach saying that, all right, our backup's going to play. Our true freshman who's never played a game in his life is also going to mix in, and Jeff Sims is day-to-day with a foot issue. Huh? How does that work? How is your starting quarterback day-to-day, and you're going to start the backup and the third-string kid who's a freshman? You're going to play 3 today? You're not playing 3 quarterbacks today. That tells me that the note about day-to-day with Sims is, come on.
Yeah, no, it speaks to desperation, though. It certainly talks about the status of the program and where they're at right now and the situation they find themselves in. I mean, that's not their fault that somebody got hurt, but I just think they're in a situation where it's an ugly deal. My niece goes to Georgia Tech, and I've got some fondness for the program. Wait a minute. Hold on. I want her 4 years to be enjoyable. The fear is she's in year 3. The truth is she has zero chance to see a Georgia Tech team that's any good at all.
But you're burying the lead. She is at Georgia Tech?
And she's beautiful.
Well, of course she is. She's your niece, but she is at Georgia Tech?
She is
Years
at Georgia
ago,
Tech.
we made a trip up to Atlanta, and the goal was we were just going. It was around Halloween. It was around this time.
We were searching for pocket calculators.
Well, you could find those.
They were abundant.
They grow on trees up there.
Yeah,
the TI-83s.
They're all over the campus. Yes.
No, we were looking to see if there were female students that went to Georgia Tech. Nothing about anything else. Just do you actually go there? And they were all Agnes Scott, Emory, everything else but Georgia Tech. So there you go.
My sister-in-law went to Agnes Scott. Yes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it's a funny deal. I remember telling her when she got into Georgia Tech, it's a great school. I was like, well, good luck. And by the way, you're going to have to fend them off because you are a rare species. You're beautiful. You're really smart. And you're on Georgia Tech's campus.
Right.
Those three.
And she prefers the TI-89, not the TI-83.
And those things don't go together.
That's enlightenment right there.
Yeah. She's the one. But that said, it's not going to be a fun 4 years for her because those teams and this team is terrible. And this is
why the athletic
department's
in real trouble.
Well, it's the weirdest thing. If you guys don't know this, and I've read a lengthy article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution a while back about Georgia Tech's problems, and I did not understand the extent to which they are reeling financially. And in this day and age, if you're in trouble financially, you're in trouble, period, because there are times to be poor, and this isn't one of them in terms of the NIL and what's going on in college football.
And so, long story short, kick them while they're down.
Kick them.
That's what
kick
today
them
is
in the
about.
face.
We've been
over and
kicked
over
in the
again,
face.
over and over
Nobody
again.
took pity on us.
No, not at all. Tom, I'm
these-
not trying to paint a picture of sadness. I'm just telling you that's the position they find themselves in. They're beleaguered. My hope is that they roll in here just as beleaguered as we described, and they realize that they're up against it. They're up against a program that's hungry. They're up against a program that needs it. They're up against a program that wants to make a statement.
Oddly enough, the setting here today, again, it's like a low-lying sky. Clouds are low. It's dreary. It's muggy for 65 or 70 degrees, whatever it is. It fits the feeling of a noon kickoff against the Georgia Tech. It's uninspired.
Yeah.
So
you're
it's
worried.
a better
I can tell
challenge.
You're worried. You're worried.
It's a better challenge. They got the lights on in the stadium right now. It's a better challenge for this group's maturity. You wake up today, you don't say, "Oh, look at this. This is why I live in Tallahassee."
Yeah.
It's
well, actually, I'm fine with it.
It's kind of
Yeah.
Get out on the field, show that it doesn't matter. Come rain or mugginess or snow or sleet like the USPS. Here come the Noles. We're mature enough. We're physical enough. And we're going to hit you in the mouth on the ground. That's the attitude I want to see over the next 5 games. Is it starts with the ground attack. This was the best part of this stretch of 3 games and 3 losses in a row, is that you were able to run on Clemson. Do it again today.
Timothy Dangerfield.
Great name.
Has the greatest name ever, if that's actually his last name. Good morning, guys. FSU 38-12. I think I said 38-13, 38-10, something like that. So me and Timothy Dangerfield have the same outlook on the game. That is my hope. I do think that Florida State should handle this rather easily. We tend to get ourselves all worked up and very, very nervous.
For good reason. The last 5 years. Every time you think, oh, they can't possibly do X, Y, or Z, we do.
Yeah. I don't think today's a problem, guys. I really don't. Now, when it is, and you guys come yelling at me, that's fine. I can take it. I'm a grown up. I can take it. And if it's a problem, I'm going to be nervous because it's not a good indicator. They had the bye week, Tom. They had a lot of time to get healthy and get right. And there's really no reason not to come out and execute and play well.
Well, and I will report that on Tuesday. That was the day I was out there. We're out there every day at warchant.com. Make sure to subscribe. It's only $10 through August 31st
$10
next year. That's ridiculous.
$10.
It's really good.
Cheapskates.
They were sharp in the bye week. They were sharp on Tuesday. Jordan Travis in particular, and they're getting healthier. There are more bodies on the field that you're like, hey, he's back. So hopefully that continues through warm-ups today. Stay tuned to warchant.com for those updates from the press box.
Yeah.
But if you get Fabian Lovett back today, and some of these other pieces are running at 100% when they were more banged and bruised from 3 consecutive top 15 opponents, that bodes well for not just today, but the stretch run.
Has Tate continued to look good in practice? I feel like I haven't heard much about him since his Louisville coming out party. That's from Kevin. He's been up and down. Tate's an interesting cat, man. When he's good, he's really good.
Yep.
And the best of Tate is something you can really believe in moving forward. The best of Tate is somebody that throws the ball better than Jordan Travis, period. The worst of Tate concerns you greatly and can cost you games.
Yeah.
And so he's just a weird cat. I don't know. It is at this point in his development, guys, he's been a good practice player for a long time, right? We finally had evidence this year that he could be good in the game, like really good and important. And he did that. That's real growth. I don't know if you were to start him, for example, over the next 2 games, how he would fare. I don't think anybody does, but we know good is in there, and we didn't know it before the Louisville game. So that's good news.
Yeah, I'd say up and down in practice is right. There are times when he makes a throw and you go, what are you looking at? And there are others where it's back shoulder, 35 yards down the field.
Yeah.
So, it's all about him getting back on the field. And in these final 5 games, how many times does Tate Rodemaker see the field? I think that's a fascinating question. I'd set the over-under at 2.5 because I would expect that he should get some run today. I do, as much as I hem and haw about Georgia Tech. I know.
Yeah.
These are the demons that I have from the lost decade.
You're a haunted man when it comes to this team.
The lost decade, Georgia Tech was a special one.
Well, you were in attendance for the fumble with Sims.
That's correct.
Yeah.
My friend and colleague from high school and college, 4 rows behind me, said, we got this.
Damn him.
Before the play. And I said, why?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
But that aside, I think Tate does get some run today. He will against Louisiana. So hopefully you can mix him in again beyond that. But it's all about the games for him at this point. I think for Tate, it's all about the games.
Yeah, and it really is an interesting stretch for a lot of reasons, by the way. The 5 games are important for Mike Norvell and the way we feel about this team and the staff and all of that. But it's also important for Jordan Travis.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about the quarterback room. Jordan Travis, this could go a lot of different ways. If he plays exceptionally well, over the top, is explosive, makes plays with his arm and his feet, who knows? I mean, he might, have a chance to go play in the National Football League. I wouldn't draft him personally, but it doesn't matter what I think. It takes
and this is the right era to be Jordan Travis. 10 years ago is the wrong era to be Jordan Travis.
Correct. Now, again, there are things he can't overcome even in this era, which is that he's injury prone.
That's
so
his
it's
most
not even
explosive size.
Well, he's not big either.
Neither is Kyler. Neither is Jalen Hurts.
Well, Kyler sucks, and
but he got paid. He's looking to get paid. He doesn't care about.
I'm just telling you.
Assessments.
Okay, yeah. So long story short, yes, agreed. I'm talking about. I come at it from a team standpoint, like would you draft him or not?
Yeah.
And my answer is no. I root for this kid. I want him to do great. I hope he does. I hope he gets drafted in the first round. He's got zero chance. But
that's a good point from It's a Buck, who I think that's a great name. First of all, great avatar.
It's a Buck. Well done.
He says as long as we're seeing Tate for the right reasons, and that's to your first point about Jordan Travis. Is 13 available for the last 5 games this season for as much as we need him? And not a play less, not a drive less. That's the hope.
Well, and that has to be, he has to be great here, man. I do think, Brian, that's funny. I'll read it in a second. I got to tell you, I'm interested in Jordan Travis these 5 games. I'm not sure where I stand. You guys can tell that. I'm not in love with everything I see from him. He's way better than he was.
Way better.
Way better. And so I think you can concur there. You can say that that's true and still need him to be more.
Sure. But we've talked about this on the wildly popular Jeff Cameron show, which you can find on Warchant
weekdays
TV.
1 to 3.
There you go. Mm-hmm. That look, he's learning lessons as a quarterback.
A lot of people learning lessons at the same time. It's tough.
They are, but that's where we are as a program.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. That's why we didn't pick 10-2 or 11-1. It's not just about a talent deficit. It's also about a learning curve.
Yeah.
And for Jordan, he's getting lessons firsthand about what it takes to be a quarterback at the Power 5 level, a throwing quarterback. Decisions, the speed, the linebackers, the safeties. We never talked about that with Jordan. It was, could he complete a wide open pass between the hash marks on 3rd and 7 if we need him to do so? It was that fundamental. And now
the answer a year ago was no.
Correct. And the
answer now is yes.
100% yes. The seam passes, all of it. He's got it all. Now does he know situationally where he needs to go with the football based upon down, distance, leverage, time, score, quarter, all that stuff? Those are real quarterback questions, and he's got to learn. And we've got to, in some ways, be patient as he makes mistakes on that growth curve.
No, but I'm out of patience now because he's played he's played a ton of football games now. He's no longer green. Here we go. We have 5 games. Let's not be crazy. Start executing.
I understand. I just think he's kind of a rookie quarterback.
Nah.
He's not a rookie football player, but he's kind of a rookie quarterback.
Well, no, because he took the step to being a real quarterback.
Right.
And you're right about that. But, man, listen, come on. This is what you work for. This is how you've done, preparation and all that stuff. I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of him because he's become something that I frankly didn't think he could become. So he deserves credit. I was wrong about that. And I hope that he continues to grow, but he does have to grow. And there are moments, the 4th and 2 moment cost us the game.
Yeah.
So, these are things that I think are fair to point out and frustrating.
Right. And the 2nd and 9 or whatever it was. Cost you the game.
Yeah. So he's got to be better than that. And I think he can be. And that's actually a testament to his growth is that we have expectations, very real expectations for where he should be. Like when he fails now, you're frustrated because he's better than that. You didn't used to know that he was better than that. You should
or that
like,
if he isn't, that it's coming and you're like, man, we got to sit through this a little bit.
Yeah. No, so it's a reason to get excited about his growth and a reason to hope for more. And that's true of Mike too in the red zone. That's like we talk about these situations with Mike. He's growing as a coach too. And I forget sometimes, I'm 50 years old, and I forget sometimes that he is younger than me significantly. And he's growing as a coach. He's having to mature, right? It's kind of weird to watch a coach have to mature in the process at the same time the quarterback is and the program is, and it's just it's frustrating at times. It causes hand wringing and consternation, but it's also something that is acceptable and understandable.
And that's where criticism and praise go hand in hand. And the praise that you would give to this coaching staff this year is that from a yards per play and efficiency standpoint, across multiple reputable metrics, they're a top 10 or top 20 offense. Now, if you look at scoring, they're middle of the country.
Right.
So what gives?
Yeah.
That means that situationally, you're not handling business.
Correct.
Situational football is usually coaching, but they get credit for it because who would have thought preseason that this group would be it's hell in terms of yards per play? They would be hell to prepare for.
Well, each of their last 3 opponents that they've lost to, they've outgained in yards per play.
That's what I'm saying.
They've been better than Clemson in yards per play by a lot, better than Wake Forest in yards per play, which is kind of surprising.
Yep.
And
By
obviously,
a big margin,
obviously
yard
better
and a
than
half.
obviously better than NC State in yards per play. Now, why do we bring that up? Those are indicators. Those are usually telltale signs of real progress and or domination.
Right. Yards are a better
also
predictor than points. Now,
correct.
situations still
But
matter
results
greatly.
matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Results and
Yes.
situations matter. And so 20-20, Florida State's better than most teams.
Yeah.
But they've got to execute there, and you don't have a kicker. You don't have one you believe in. Maybe he's come around. I don't know. He might have come around. He might have come around. We'll see today if he gets an
He's been
opportunity.
rock solid in practice. Look, if he no, here's what I'm saying.
I don't care anything about. He can kick 47 in a row in practice. Doesn't make a difference.
If he, all I was going to say was if he doesn't make one in a game, then it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter. And we shouldn't bring it up. We shouldn't bring it up. I don't care if he makes
looked like-
150 straight.
But, dude, he looked like Shankopotamus in practice before he shanked him. So it was an indicator that was coming. It wasn't like he was, nails in practice and then, oh, my God, where did that come from?
I'm just telling you right now.
I know where that came from. Practice.
You pay attention to this chat. I promise you right now, nobody cares whether he makes kicks in practice. There's an entirely different deal going on that football
There's at least
field.
one person who cares. There's 400 of you out there. There's at least one.
I'm just telling you, I don't think they care. They want to see him come out here in a game with pressure and make a kick. That's not the point. We're going down the wrong path here.
Well, situational football, that matters. If you don't have a kicker the way you call the red zone.
Maximus cares. There you go.
There we go.
He cares.
All right. You're my guy.
He cares greatly whether or not he's made kicks in practice. I want him to make kicks in a game. He might. He looked better the last time we saw him, so let's hope that continues down that path. But the red zone issues that we're talking about have not everything to do with the kicker, but also play calling. Also, the field shrinks. Jordan's got to make good decisions.
They worked on it extra on Tuesday. They devoted extra periods, and they really haven't deviated in practice this season from whatever plan.
Consistent.
This time, though, on Tuesday, they said, look, we've got extra time. This isn't about game plan. It's about going good on good. A few extra periods in the red zone. They understand. Usually the third period is, or fourth, depending on the day, is inside 2 minutes situation. You're down either 3 or 4. So either you got to kick one or you got to score a touchdown, and then timeouts are less than 3. So it's basically the end of the game. How do you handle it? They said, nope, not this week. We're doing red zone instead, which good. That means they know that there is a problem to address. And Coach Norvell has always been good about that. He's very accountable when something is not operating the way it should be, and they put it to practice.
One of the things I like about Coach Norvell is he's accountable all the time for all of the aspects of the program, and he wants you to document it as well. He's not afraid in that regard. And if you ask him a question about a sore subject, if you are to bring up the fact that his kicker is unreliable or whatever it might be, right? Red zone woes in general. He knows where you're going. He'll cut you off at the pass, and he'll take responsibility and answer the question. And that's important. I think your coach has to be accountable, unlike the situation you see up there at Texas A&M right now where that guy may be gone today. I mean, it's ugly right now with the rumors that are going around that place. But Mike will take
all I care about is that A-chain goes over 95 and a half or 96 and a half yards. I don't care what happens to Jimbo.
I think you're in trouble, buddy. It sounds like this is about to be an ugly situation.
It sounds like they need to retain extra security at all functions, team recruiting and otherwise.
For you guys that don't know, there's Jimbo's
reports
of Jimbo's agent is in town at Texas A&M, and there was a fight. A player was kicked off the team. Beating a trainer. They got some situations going on.
I don't know that all this is verified, but it seems like there's an awful lot of smoke
going on around the program. You have five stars leaving.
Yeah.
Come on down, kids. Come on down.
Well, I don't know. Did they sign the right kind of players, or are they signing the kind of players that sowed the seeds of problems here?
Are they five-star players, or they're the right kind of players?
No, well, they're not all the same. They're not all the same.
Listen,
some of them undid what happened here.
Yeah,
so
we're going to take a real quick break. It's just 2-3 minutes, and we'll be right back with more of the pregame show here. It is Warchant Game Day. We are atop Hotel Indigo. We're excited to be here. People have filled up the place now. It's a beautiful setting.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, good atmosphere.
If you're out there,
if you're out and about, come on down, get you a Bloody Mary, get you a mimosa, get you a cup of coffee, whatever you need.
And then stop at Zaxby's on the way.
Oh,
there you go.
Love Zaxby's. I don't have my read right now, but
I kind of know it by heart.
Game time.
Pregame, postgame, or no game at all.
Post-game.
Anytime is the right time.
For Zaxby's.
For Zaxby's chicken sandwich.
A proud Golden Chief booster for 17
Get off
years.
Get off them.
We're back in a moment.
Something big, something huge is taking over the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich, it's taking over. And it's only at Zaxby's.
Warchant.com has been the definitive home of all things FSU sports for over 20 years and is now part of On3, the next generation network. Warchant.com has the most experienced, tenured, and largest staff on the Florida State sports beat and now features innovative resources, including an NIL database that projects player value and a truly aggregated composite recruiting ranking system that will set the bar in the industry.
There are no words to describe the perfect pairing of Zaxby's hand-breaded fingers and our 12 delectable sauces. But there is a sound, and that sound is The Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with endless sauce abilities. Only at Zaxby's.
And away we go. We're back atop Hotel Indigo. Thanks to everybody who's come out today and anybody out there wandering
Good
around.
crowd.
It's a good place. It's a great place. Good setup. You're overlooking the intramural fields where you can see the lots start to fill up.
Late arriving, would you say?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's tough, man. Fridays are rough on people. And if people like to get down, and the stadium's behind us there, it's a beautiful.
The lights
setting.
are on. The lights are on at the stadium.
Yeah,
today.
it's a hazy kind of Saturday noon kickoff, a little under the way. You know, I will say this though, it's not going to be hot. It's not going to be hot, so that'll be nice. And hopefully Florida State comes out and electrifies the crowd and all that good stuff. We'll see. We've been talking about it a lot today because we think that the expectation is fair, that they go out and play well, coming off the bye and getting healthy. Listen, I had a friend text me this morning very early, and he said, Jeff,
too early? That's what that sounded like.
Like 6:20, and he knows I'm an early riser, so people get to know your habits. So they'll, I get texts at 5:50, like with the fellow early risers, every now and then. I don't always answer them because I want to set the expectation that you can't
just
text
got to
me.
put your notifications disabled.
Yeah, I want people to know if I don't answer you, the expectation is that you can't text me before 6 a.m., all right? You can't do that. That said, I am up. I'm usually getting coffee, letting the dog out, doing the whole thing, right? And my friend, dear friend, Florida State graduate, foreign service officer, wonderful human being, texts me and says, why is the spread so big? And I said to him, because Georgia Tech sucks and we're not bad. My brother.
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Look at this.
Yeah, Jason came through for us big time. You the man. So I said to him, you got a little mimosa going there. There you go. You're feeling good now, aren't you?
I always feel good.
Get that mimosa up in
Yeah.
there. And so I said, again, that's an oversimplification, but I think it's real. They're not very good, and we're a pretty good team.
Yeah. And especially if they don't have their quarterback too. I mean, that only exacerbates the issue. So
I don't think he's any good.
there are times, he can make a couple of plays to keep it within 20, 24. You know what I mean? There are times where the spread is befuddling. Pro, college. There are a couple like that today where you go, really?
Yeah.
That's the side that Vegas thinks that this is going to come down?
You run
on?
for the hills when that happens.
Exactly. This doesn't feel off, though. That's my point. This doesn't feel crazy.
Right.
I mean,
it does not. It does not feel crazy. It feels legitimate. I said 38-10, 38-13. So, that'll tell you. I mean, that's the number.
I had 42-10. And again, that totally banks on whether the quarterback plays. But we all saw it. Well, I chose not to watch it, but it was reported back to me.
I watched
a week ago during the bye week. The Virginia Georgia Tech game
I texted
was special.
I said, are you watching this game?
And I will tell you that this week in preparation for the game, there really wasn't much with Georgia Tech. It's just their defense is all right, but I watched Duke and Georgia Tech start to finish. I watched UCF Georgia Tech start to finish to try and get some insights. Son. They've played a lot of terrible quarterbacks this year, the Yellow Jackets. A lot of terrible quarterbacks. And when they played Ole Miss, Dart didn't even throw the ball. Ole Miss just ran the ball the entire day.
Ran the ball. That's all they did. And yeah, I agree with you.
This is the best quarterback they've seen, and I'm including DJ in week one because DJ in week one wasn't good, DJ. They didn't get it together at Clemson didn't until the second half of that football game. So this is easily the best quarterback they've seen, and it might be the best running game they've seen. Ole Miss ran all over him for 300-plus yards, but if you can do at Florida State what we did to Clemson, now you're changing expectations. I expect them to dominate the line of scrimmage today. I do. Well, what a weird thing to say.
The fact they did it against Clemson, running the ball, lining up and running the ball like men. I mean, this was not a trick game plan.
Yeah.
It was a game plan built around outside zone, and that requires you to move people, and they moved people. So you have said this week, and I agree with it. When you show that you can do that, then go do that. Right. Go be that. Be about that life. That's who you are.
Yeah.
And I think there's a chance that they come out and do that today. I mean, I don't know why you'd go away from it when you see that it's in you. When you consider that game plans are put together by Mike Norvell and Alex Atkins. Alex Atkins is the offensive line coach.
Yeah.
He knows what his group does best. That was the game plan he chose.
Correct.
Against Clemson.
And it was right.
And he was not wrong. He was right. He outwitted all of us because none of us saw that.
Correct.
Coming.
Well, and
none of us saw that coming.
But there was something that we saw the week prior against NC State, and I questioned it, and I'm wrong because I guess he knew it was coming. But we didn't run a lot of our traditional counter-style runs and misdirection runs against NC State, especially in that second half with the few drives, at 4 punts, and then, all hell broke loose in that second half. But we ran a lot of outside zone in that game. And I was wondering, what gives? You're going to run that against a 3-3-5 with speedy linebackers?
Right,
they're going to beat you to the point. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
32, buddy.
But apparently, I know. But apparently, they knew that this was coming, that if they just keep pounding the rock that way, this is the payoff that's coming behind it. And a note on that.
It travels,
but then also Lawrence Toafili is perfect for that kind of play call.
Well, he's patient, and he'll cut it back in.
He understands that. Yeah, Chris Thompson understood that very well, too.
Right.
Thompson had better 0 to 60. Nobody's questioning that. But there's a feel that you have to run that style, and not everybody can do it. Le'Veon Bell and Leonard Fournette are two very different backs the way they run the football.
Yeah, and there's a flow.
There's a flow to it, and not with Leonard. Leonard is just straight ahead, or he's going to guess. So, I know.
I like that you got that bitch in there.
I did. But we were able to do it successfully, and now that's got to be part of our base. Before, the base was counter, left and right.
It's outside zone now. It's a lot of outside zone.
So now you got two base running plays that keeps defenses off balance.
And I think you can run power too.
Well, yeah, power is kind of the same thing as counter.
But not completely. But yeah, I think you can run it. I think
you're pinning, you're pulling, you're doing all that stuff. They're good.
Yeah. They're not bad. again, I'm going to go back to this. I really think that when you have an identity or when you discover an identity, it's an uplifting moment for a team because you have a thing that you can count on. You have a thing you believe in. You have a thing that you invest in physically and emotionally.
Yep.
And once you realize you're that, now you're no longer searching. And I just think it's an important thing for this team to know that they're capable of that and to embrace it and do it. You know, I played on a terrible football team one year, and then the next year we went undefeated. And the whole key to that turnaround, and William Floyd was a big part of that. he was big key, but was pounding the rock.
Yep.
And it was figuring out that, we can do this.
Right.
We can line up and run veer. We can line up and do this thing, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, once we knew that was our identity, it changed everything. And I think we may see that today, like that realization that you found in the loss.
That's what they want to be. You can see it in the way that Mike Norvell talks about football in general, that even though he's got gadgets and stuff, the principal part of it, the base part, the jab, is physical. You want to establish physicality, and then off of that, you get them guessing. Then the misdirection pops in there, and you've got yourself an explosive play. They generate explosive plays here. Like few other coaching staffs in the country, they were able to do it without receivers, an offensive line, and a quarterback who could throw the football last year. They created explosive plays. How the hell does that work?
Right. Well, that was all angles. That was Atkins figuring out. Yeah.
Why do you need angles?
And the worst part of because you can't physically beat people. But now you don't have to do that.
Correct.
Yeah. And I would say it's interesting because you can incorporate both. It's okay to trick people too. I mean, that's all right too. But you can incorporate both. But more importantly, you can rely on as your base the offensive line to create situations that give you leverage that allows you to win football games. And this is the component of every good football team. Ohio State, when you watch that offense, it's electrifying. And people talk about their receivers. They talk about C.J. Stroud at quarterback. They talk about all those teams. Watch their offensive line.
Yep.
It's all predicated on Henderson and what they do with the offensive line, right? If you watch Alabama year in and year out, they've got great skill players, right? But now what is it predicated on? It's predicated on an offensive line that can dominate, right? Now, listen, we can talk both sides of the picture here. Look at the defense. It's a different story. But that is, when you have that, you're a good football team. Because that always works. That always travels. That always is something. Good weather, bad weather, noon, night, doesn't matter. That always travels. If you're that, then you're good. If Florida State can prove today that they're that, we good.
Yeah.
We're going to be all right these last 5 games.
Well, first, yes, I hope they achieve that first and foremost. But this is the sports broadcaster's way of saying, with all due respect, is having said all that.
Okay.
Georgia Tech doesn't like misdirection plays, and so therefore I think that has to be part of
you can still be physical
and run straight ahead.
Yeah,
but you can be physical in misdirection as well. Their linebackers like to over pursue, and that's the one thing if I'm going to put in several hours of watching Georgia Tech play terrible football teams, that's you're going to have to learn something and talk about it. And that's the linebackers, they love where the play is initially going. They don't necessarily love if it's a broken play or it's a misdirection play.
Right.
And so some of the base stuff that we ran to be successful in going 4-0, I think has to be a part of the plan today with motion, end arounds, jet actions, counter, all that kind of stuff. Get them flowing one way. And that might be you establish it early with outside zone, and maybe you still hit on it and you're successful. But you establish them one way, you counter, you go the other way. They don't seem to care a whole lot about it. And that's the other thing, too, I'd say, is if you can get out to a quick start, sleepy nooner against Georgia Tech, hazy day, muggy day, if you can do that, they've got some laydown in them. And it wasn't just the game against Ole Miss where they're going to make a coaching change, and you saw that coming. But they got a little bit of laydown in them because they don't believe in the offense to rally it back.
What do they have to believe in, period?
Right.
It's a mess right now.
It's like Iowa.
Institution.
Except the worst version defensively.
Yeah, at least Iowa last year had a great season. Georgia Tech doesn't have anything to fall back on. Right. These several years in a row of nothing will certainly wear somebody down. You're a third-year junior, your fourth-year junior, starting at linebacker. What memory do you have? You got this one moment you beat North Carolina. You got another moment where you beat Duke.
Right.
You don't have a lot.
But that's the thing is in a vacuum, they're not bad players.
No.
And it's not a bad defense. The defense is rated across the board, efficiency metrics wise, or, the basics, total defense, things like that. They're a middle of the pack group, which is saying something because they hardly ever have the football. So they're a middle-of-the-pack group, and that's to their credit. But if you can put it on them early, they know that they can't score 27 to 30 points to go win the football game.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll sense that and lay down and take that ass beating. Z-Chan, thank you so much. Game day, let's go. Here's hoping. I'm calling to talk about a great win afterwards. Speaking of which, it's our opportunity to promote after the game and during the game. Warchant's got you covered. In game, there's a watch along. This guy will be doing one of those in the second half.
Second half, yep.
Aslan will be in the first half, who I apologized publicly to yesterday. I feel very bad. Not getting my score in. And then after the game, about 15 minutes after it wraps up, Tom and Gene Williams, founder and administrator of Warchant.com, will be on the air, ready to roll, and take your phone calls and chats and all that good stuff and talk about this game. We're hoping certainly that we're talking about a win. And, guys, let's be brief on that thing. Let's get in and out and get on down the road because my man wants to watch football.
No.
Get in and get out. Get the hell up out of here.
We've done the post-game show. That is his suggestion and his suggestion alone. We've done the post-game show. This is our third season doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot of wins for the post-game show. It's not an over 500 post-game show.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get there. And on the ride to being an over 500 post-game show, if we got to talk for an extra 30 to 45 minutes because the phone lines are lit up, then so be it.
Right.
850-805-5911. Let's do it.
You got that number down.
Yeah.
By the way, so this came up in the chat. We should bring it up, I guess. So it is fascinating, of course. Game day is talking about Travis Hunter, talking about where they are. Today,
where they are.
Where they are.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me. That's fine. I get it. I mean, nobody ever suggested that Dion wasn't a PR expert and a showman. He is. But it is interesting to watch the debate rage amongst fan bases everywhere. There's a rumor that he's going to Auburn. And I'll tell you something right now.
Really?
Let's hope that's true. I'd like to see that. I'm interested to see how that works. In the era of CEO coaches, it could work.
Yeah.
It could work.
It's funny. You're willing to allow for that in a different market.
I don't want to run that experiment here. Yeah. But if you guys want to see it work, let's see him go to Auburn.
There really wasn't a whole lot of that talk in the chat this morning, and now that's ruined. We're on a streak of like 19 chats in a row.
I tend not to pay any attention.
We've got to.
You know where I stand on the guy.
For the 500 plus that are here right now from Warchant Game Day, presented by Zaxby's pregame show, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the like if you got mics back. Can we stop with this? Why are we looking for the next guy?
Oh, we're not. We're not.
Why the royal they? The royal they. Why?
Let's let the experiment take place at Auburn.
These 5 games embrace this.
I love the brokenness of Auburn. It'll be perfect. Yeah, go hire Dion. Go do that, and we'll see what happens.
Let's not be broken these next 5 games. Let's prove that we've taken the step we all think we have, and in some ways we've already proven that we have. You got to validate it, though. That's what it's about. You validate this puppy in the next 5 weeks. It gets real interesting in terms of recruiting between then and the middle of December.
Good morning, gents. What is more likely to be seen today, a punt past the line of scrimmage or Fitz nails all of his kicks? Well, I mean, we'll punt the ball past the line of scrimmage. Yeah. I mean, I don't love it, but he's not terrible.
Well, they've got special teams issues, too.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that could be what that is.
Yeah.
Big special teams issues.
Listen, I'm not as concerned about the punter. I'm concerned about the kicker, and I'm also concerned about the punt returner. Micah needs to catch more balls.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, now he's got to catch more footballs and be consistently better on the whole. He is better.
Yeah. Oh, he's a huge upgrade.
We're way better off than we were a year ago.
Yeah.
But he can be even better. We're so scarred from poor special teams play that anything that resembles competence feels like an alarming success.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
We've gone from an F to a B minus. Is that fair? Or an F to a B in punt returning? In punt returning specifically.
B minus.
B minus?
Yeah. We've gone from an F to a B minus. Yeah. He didn't catch enough of them.
When he does, he's good.
He's pretty good. Yeah. Well, he's got wiggle. This is you watch good football teams. Again, this is another aspect of being a good football team, taking the next big step. You got to do little things very, very well. Special teams is a part of that. Right. And you got to do those things well if you're going to win football games. You got to make kicks. You got to return punts. You got to be good on kickoff coverage. You got to do all those things. And we're not always great on that. So we'll see.
I think it's worth checking in with the press box here in a moment, probably before we sign off, just to see if there's any news. We've got Fabian Lovett news coming at warchant.com. If it's not known by the time we sign off here in roughly 9 minutes or so, we will have it reported for you on warchant.com on the message boards. And then also beyond, Fabian, go ahead.
Is Ira going to check in with us here?
No, I'm talking about it's time to check in. We might want to take one more break, get some news and notes from the press box, talk to our colleagues.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Sorry about that, guys. We will be back momentarily. Warchant Game Day, broadcasting live from Hotel Indigo, up on the rooftop. Beautiful setting. We're watching the crowd fill in over here. We've got the stadium in the background. Come on by for mimosas, Bloody Marys,
There's
coffee,
a lot of people
whatever you
partaking.
need. Everybody's ready to go. We'll come back and wrap it up momentarily.
Something big, something huge is taking over the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich, it's taking over. And it's only at Zaxby's.
Warchant.com has been the definitive home of all things FSU sports for over 20 years and is now part of On3, the next generation network. Warchant.com has the most experienced, tenured, and largest staff on the Florida State sports beat and now features innovative resources, including an NIL database that projects player value and a truly aggregated composite recruiting ranking system that will set the bar in the industry.
There are no words to describe the perfect pairing of Zaxby's hand-breaded fingers and our 12 delectable sauces. But there is a sound, and that sound is The Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with endless sauce abilities. Only at Zaxby's.
Welcome back. We are atop Hotel Indigo rooftop style for the pregame show, Warchant Game Day, overlooking the stadium and the intramural lots. If you're in town, wandering about, come on home, baby. We got you right here. Drinks, food, all of it, it's available at Hotel Indigo. That's a good thing.
A lot of people heard about the mimosas and the Bloody Marys. They took advantage of it today. It's easier with the early kick. Just let them take care of it for you.
Yeah, you got it made. Really quick, we want to thank our friends at Zaxby's. We've kind of gone off script today, but Zaxby's has been a huge supporter and sponsor of the game day experience, and of course all the stuff that we do here at Warchant. And we're really, really appreciative. Doesn't matter if it's game day or not. Go buy your Zaxby's. Get that platter, man. I get the platters. They're delicious, and there's a ton of them. And, a lot of food. It's a good thing.
Even if it's, a family of 4 or 6, they've got family packs. So you can get 20 chicken fingers, and then they come with crinkle cut fries, Texas toast. I mean, it's plenty of food for a family of 4 or 6.
Who's hot? Who's cold? Brought to you by Barno Heating and Air Conditioning. I guess we'll do the...
You do based on injuries in the reports.
Yeah.
So from our own Irish Rafael, who is stadium side underneath the lights at Doak, it's a hazy morning. Jared Verse, we would call hot. He is warming up, looks like a full participant. That's big news just because Verse has been in and out of games since his return from that initial injury that he suffered at Louisville. So it looks like he's a full go. Cold, Trayshawn Ward. Ira's saying we're not expecting him just yet to return. It would be a surprise if he goes today. Mike Norvell has said that they got the best news possible from Trayshawn's injury that he had suffered on the road at NC State. but still it might be a little bit more time before FSU's leading rusher is back in the fold. And then undetermined. So what would we call that? Lukewarm? Tepid?
Lukewarm, yeah.
Still waiting on a Fabian Lovett update. He took part in practice this week. We do
know that. Yeah, we do know that.
Situational drills. He was limited. They're ramping him up. Everything is on schedule. So the problem is, from a media standpoint, we don't have access to Thursday or Friday. It's no big deal. We get to see all of Tuesday and Wednesday. But unless something happened there, I think he should be perhaps on a pitch count today. He looked like he was ready to play full contact football to me earlier this week, but we don't know if there was a setback on Thursday or Friday, so we are waiting updates there. So hot, Jared Verse, cold, Trayshawn Ward, and then in the middle, Fabian Lovett.
You know, it's interesting. If Fabian's not a full go today, you know, you wonder if they play him at all, because obviously you got the Miami game looming, so it'll be very, very interesting to see if he plays. I feel like, you know, this has been a long run here. He was back working hard. I hope he's ready to play. That's all I can say. I mean, he's such a difference maker for this defense, and we've talked a lot about what this team is or is not, but they're a better football team with Fabian Lovett, period. Yep. And if you get this guy back, it's a huge boost to everything you do, because now those guys that have really been asked to start and play starters reps anyhow, a lot of them, they don't have to do that anymore. They don't have to be the guy anymore. And those guys are nice complementary players, but Fabian's a star.
Right. And yeah, if you get 35, 40 reps out of Josh Walker, right? Or Josh Farmer, excuse me.
Who the hell is Josh Walker?
I don't know. He's a good football player somewhere.
I was concerned.
If you get 35 to 40 reps out of this.
I was like, my God, I've watched a lot of practices. I've never seen a Josh Walker.
You know what it is? It's the 44, DeMarcus Walker. That's what popped up in my head.
I like it.
It's like my Christian Jones problem. It's popping up now for Joshua Farmer. But if you get limited reps out of him, or half the game's reps out of your young stud in Farmer, you're in business instead of asking him to be a stud the whole game.
It's a difference, if it were a different, as Jimbo would say. No, I think it's true. It is a difference. And those guys asking to be explosive for 20 plays, 25 plays, as opposed to 40 is a really big deal. So we'll see if Fabian's back today. Florida State should win the game, whether or not he's back or not. I don't feel that concerned about it. But I do think in order to go 4-1, 5-0 in these 5 games, he is going to have to come back and be good. And I think he's, that's what I want to see today out of him, because it changes your defensive line, changes your pass rush, changes your secondary.
So what you're saying is that whether Fabian plays or not, it doesn't necessarily impact your ABC Fine Wine and Spirits predictions for today's
well done,
game,
sir.
Which,
well done. Hey, don't try that at the house, guys. That is a professional segue. There aren't many people that can do that. Tom is experienced.
You want to stock up for a mimosa or a screwdriver? This is not a screwdriver. This is a mimosa. Let's make that plainly clear. All you got to do is order online for ABC Fine Wine and Spirits throughout the state of Florida.
I'll tell you what, you run across a gentleman drinking a screwdriver in the morning, he means business.
yeah. I enjoy screwdrivers for our friend Joey taught me this.
Yeah.
On Thursday and Friday of the NCAA tournament, if we don't have responsibilities.
Right.
The screwdriver is the play for the NCAA tournament.
That's a hell of a play.
So what you need to do, though, is order online at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. You go to the designated spot in their lot, you pop the trunk, they load it up, and you move on. It's the tailgate's best friend, whether that's your home tailgate or coming out here to Doak. So hit up ABC Fine Wine and Spirits for all your needs.
Prediction time.
I'm going to stick
all
with it.
day long.
42-10.
Yeah, you went 42-10. I went 38-13.
Part of the updates from Ira at the press box were that Georgia Tech had a contingent out there early, not the whole team, so it's not a fair one.
No Sims out there.
No Sims
out there early. That's good. Yeah, what a shame.
So that fortifies the lopsided nature of the score. If he plays,
heartbreaking for Georgia
It's
Tech.
A little tighter. I still think the Noles win, but if he plays, it's a little tighter than that margin.
Well, if he plays, you could be in a game in the second half, which would be unsettling. So let's hope that.
Let's not be unsettled on a Saturday.
I don't want to be unsettled. It's early. It's too early to be unsettled. I can be unsettled at 11 o'clock at night. I don't want to be unsettled right now.
What's the expected attendance for the game from Marcus? That's a fair question.
52,000. Ooh, probably nailed it. I think I nailed it.
I'm going to say 61.
Nah.
But the tailgate lots are still
looking dicey.
There's a lot of room.
Looking dicey.
3 straight losses in a bye week, and then Georgia Tech.
And it hurts your feelings.
Yeah, and a noon kick.
I'm going to go 52,000. I hope I'm wrong. I might be wrong. The fans have been good this year.
We're setting the over-under at 60,500.
I'm going under.
What do you think, Marcus? If you can get it in before we're done,
I'm gonna go under, and I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to be wrong. I'm often wrong, so that's okay.
We all are.
Yeah.
Act accordingly.
You give an opinion for a living. That's what happens.
Yeah.
just real quick, because I don't get an opportunity to do it much these days. Do you recall on yesterday's Jeff Cameron show in which I said, I kind of like East Carolina to win the game outright, maybe sprinkle a little pizza money on the money line there?
Yeah.
I hope you guys do too.
What was that? BYU -3 or 3.5?
Yeah, and I took East Carolina straight up.
That game was
and guess who
down
won
to
the game
wire.
straight up? East Carolina, everybody.
Okay, so I saw the kick. I rolled over, opened up the phone, and I was looking for the World Series, which was tied at the time.
Incredible
game, apparently.
Go Phillies.
And then it said fourth quarter, 2 seconds to go. I was like, oh, let me watch the kick. And then there it was. So,
and did you think, good for Jeff?
Good
for Jeff taking East Carolina on the money line. Good for Jeff Cameron.
I rolled over.
Thought.
I rolled over. That's
You
all
didn't think
I did.
that?
Yeah.
Damn it. All of you should have been celebrating with me. We were on the cover bus to Cache City. That's what we were doing.
I know P. Simpson is down with the cover bus.
Yes, he is. All right. Here we
Marcus
go.
says under. He says 59,000. All right. Apparently I'm rich here.
He knows. All right. For Tom Lang, I'm Jeff Cameron. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thank you, Ben. You did a great job as always, buddy. Harold's looking good today. You guys be good, and we will talk to you real soon. Thanks to everybody here at Hotel
12
Indigo.
o'clock, come back to Warchant TV.
12 o'clock right here. This guy later in the second half, Aslan in the first half. They're both great. It'll be good. Be good. Peace.